Welcome to Idea TV News Update. I am Cynthia Bassi. We begin with the headlines. Idea TV unveils Africa's industries and SMEs of interest. Federal government launches nationwide crackdown on oil and gold smugglers. Nigerian researchers gain access to EU's 100 billion euros Horizon Europe funding. And Ghana unveils digital-driven infrastructure plan to power a sustainable future. Egypt secures $5.5 billion EU funding to boost economic stability and development. In health, Africa closes in on polio-free status, says World Health Organization. And in business, Nigeria's stock market nears 100 trillion naira as investors' confidence surges. In sports, Falcons eye early advantage against Benin Amazons. And now the news in full. Idea TV has announced the first edition of its Industries and SMEs of Interest in the series of Idea TV Bulletins, a special initiative spotlighting African enterprises driving innovation, industrial growth and economic inclusion across the continent. The program highlights companies at the forefront of re-engineering Africa's value chains, from agriculture and infrastructure protection to drone logistics and financial technology. According to Idea TV, the Industries and SMEs of Interest series celebrates businesses that are not only expanding markets, but also transforming how Africa produces, protects, and trades. These enterprises are recognized for their impact in strengthening agro-industrial systems, securing critical assets, improving logistics, and advancing digital payments and inclusion for millions. The initiative underscores Idea TV's commitment to showcasing the ingenuity of African innovators who are shaping the continent's next economic chapter through knowledge-driven development. The first edition of Idea Industries and SMEs of Interest is scheduled to air on the 24th today of October 2025. Viewers can follow Idea Television, for updates and exclusive insights into the innovators powering Africa's transformation. Moving on, the federal government has launched a nationwide crackdown on oil and gold smugglers as part of a broader strategy to protect Nigeria's natural resources and boost revenue generation. The National Economic Council chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima, announced the move following its 153rd meeting at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Council expanded the mandate of its ad hoc committee on crude oil theft prevention and control, chaired by Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma, to now include the fight against illegal mining and mineral smuggling. The Governor Uzodinma said the decision reflects government's determination to close off revenue leakages and ensure that proceeds from solid minerals, including gold, contribute meaningfully to national income. He noted that the committee will collaborate with the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, the Nigerian Contractive Industries Transparency Initiative, and security agencies to curb gold smuggling, unregulated quarrying, and illicit mineral exports. Nigeria's illegal mining sector, dominated by gold and lithium, has grown into a multi-billion naira shadow economy. According to NEITI, the country loses over $9 billion annually to illicit extraction and smuggling. Unlicensed mining operations, often controlled by criminal groups in the northwest and north-central regions, have become a major source of funding for banditry and cross-border crime. The recent NEITI audit revealed that more than 80% of mining activities in Nigeria are informal and unregulated, while enforcement agencies face challenges of manpower and overlapping responsibilities. Last year, the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development revoked over 900 dormant mining licenses and introduced a national gold reserve policy to improve transparency and local value addition. Governor Uzodinma said the newly expanded committee would integrate the fight against illegal mining into the existing national framework used to combat oil theft, adding that similar security structures will be extended to mineral-rich regions across the country. The committee is expected to present its first progress report on the expanded mandate at the next NEC meeting in November. Moving on, the European Union (EU) has announced a new phase of collaboration with Nigeria aimed at strengthening the nation's research and innovation landscape, with particular focus on digital transformation, climate resilience, and sustainable economic growth. According to a statement released in Abuja, Nigeria researchers are now eligible to participate in the EU's flagship research program, the Horizon Europe Initiative, which offers over 100 billion euro in research and innovation grants. Speaking at the 18th Annual Research Conference of the University of Lagos, the EU ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Gautier Mignot, highlighted the importance of scientific collaboration in driving inclusive and transformative development. He explained that the EU's partnership with Nigeria is designed to empower scientists, innovators, and young researchers to translate knowledge into practical solutions across sectors such as artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and health. Mignot further revealed that the European Commission has proposed the commencement of negotiations with Nigeria on a science, technology, and innovation agreement. The proposed accord, which will establish new avenues for joint research projects, academic exchanges, and investments in technology infrastructure, fostering stronger ties between Nigeria and the European institutions, and expanding opportunities for researchers and entrepreneurs. The ambassador also emphasized the openness of the Horizon Europe program to Nigerian participation, stressing that science thrives through collaboration beyond borders. He noted that the initiative will enhance Nigeria's global presence in research and innovation. The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Folashade Ogunsola, lauded the EU's support, describing it as a major milestone in Nigeria's efforts to strengthen research capacity and drive innovation-led development. In other news, Ghanaian President John Dramani Mahama on Wednesday, October 22nd of this year, launched the Ghana Infrastructure Plan (GIP) in Accra. The long-term strategy aims to transform the nation's infrastructure landscape by 2057, Ghana's centenary of independence, through smart planning, regional balance, and technology-driven development. The plan, inspired by Kwame Nkrumah's 1963 National Blueprint, seeks to bridge Ghana's $37 billion infrastructure financing gap and improve efficiency through digital monitoring, data analytics, and transparent project tracking. President Mahama said the initiative marks a new era of innovation and discipline in infrastructure delivery, ensuring every investment contributes to a Ghana that works for all. Ghana currently scores 47 out of 100 in the Global Infrastructure Hub Index, reflecting its need for smarter systems and sustainable financing. Under the complementary Big Push initiative, the government has also committed 13.9 billion cedis, $1.28 billion to technology-enabled projects in energy, transport, and water management, reinforcing its vision of a connected, resilient, and future-ready nation. Still in Africa, Egypt and the European Union have signed two major financing agreements worth a combined €4.75 billion to strengthen the country's economy and support social reforms. The agreements were formalized on the 22nd of this year in October during the first Egypt-EU summit in Brussels, marking a significant step in deepening cooperation across political, economic, and security areas. Under the new arrangement, €4 billion has been allocated to the second phase of the Macro-Financial Assistance (MFA) program, aimed at enhancing Egypt's debt sustainability, stabilizing its economy, and bridging fiscal gaps. The remaining €75 million will support socio-economic reforms focused on improving education, healthcare, water access, and livelihoods, key sectors that contribute to building human capital and strengthening public services. These funds form part of a broader €7.4 billion partnership agreement launched in March 2024, which spans 2024 to 2027. The overall package includes €5 billion in concessional loans, €1.8 billion in mobilized investment, and €600 million in grants. The cooperation framework between Egypt and the EU is anchored on 6 pillars: including political relations, trade, investment, and security collaborations. The EU remains Egypt's largest trading partner, accounting for 22% of total trade in 2024, valued at €32.5 billion. At the Brussels summit, additional commitments were announced, including €110.5 million for technical and vocational training, €50 million for green transition and renewable energy initiatives, and €200 million for migration-related projects scheduled for implementation between 2025 and 2026. We go on a quick break now. The news continues when we return.
Continuous Threat Exposure Countermeasure, CTEM. CTEM tools enable organizations to continuously monitor and address vulnerabilities in real time. This proactive approach helps businesses stay ahead of cyber threats and comply with security standards. While CTEM systems are improving cybersecurity, managing them can be resource-intensive. Sectors like finance, healthcare, and government are adopting these tools to protect sensitive data.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is Idea TV News Update. Now the rest of the news. In health, as the world commemorates World Polio Day 2025, the World Health Organization, WHO, has commended Africa's significant progress towards eradicating polio, describing it as a milestone driven by digital innovation, regional collaboration, and strengthened health systems. The World Health Organization Regional Director for Africa, Dr. Mohamed Janabi, noted that this year's theme, End Polio, Every Child, Every Vaccine, Everywhere, underscores the collective commitment to ensure that every child is protected regardless of location or circumstance. Janabi explained that the continent's success has been powered by stronger cross-border coordination, advanced surveillance, and the integration of digital tools that have improved efficiency and accountability. Between January and October 2025, 15 African countries reached nearly 200 million children with at least one dose of polio vaccine through supplementary immunization rounds, while 13 nations conducted synchronized campaigns, even in difficult and remote areas. In the Horn of Africa, countries such as Djibouti, Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia jointly vaccinated more than 18 million children during 2 consecutive rounds. Similarly, the Lake Chad Basin and Sahel regions witnessed coordinated campaigns that aim to protect 83 million children across borders, efforts that have significantly reduced virus transmission. The World Health Organization data shows that the number of African countries with active type 2 polio virus outbreaks fell from 24 in 2024 to 14 in 2025, with total virus detections declining by 54%. Janabi further highlighted that Africa's progress has been reinforced by improved laboratory and surveillance networks. By mid-2025, 11 who supported laboratories had expanded genomic sequencing capacity, and 6 began piloting advanced sequencing methods. Uganda's Sanga sequencing facility also earned accreditation earlier this year, enhancing the continent's ability to detect and monitor poliovirus variants and paving the way for a polio-free Africa. Now in business news, Nigeria's equity market continued its upward trajectory on Thursday, reaching new record highs driven by renewed investor optimism and broader economic reforms. The Nigerian exchange market's capitalization edged closer to the 100 trillion naira milestone, closing at 98.059 trillion naira, while the all-share index ASI rose by 0.49% to 154,489.91 points. With a remarkable 50.10% year-to-year date gain, the market's performance highlights strong demand for blue-chip stocks across banking, industrial, oil and gas, and consumer goods sector. Analysts attribute this rally to improving foreign exchange liquidity, enhanced policy coordination, and a more stable macroeconomic outlook. The market rebound aligns with ongoing structural reforms that have reshaped Nigeria's economic direction. Key policies such as liberalization of the naira, removal of fuel subsidies, and better coordination between fiscal and monetary authorities are helping to restore macroeconomic balance even amid persistent inflationary pressures. At the Financial Times Africa Summit 2025 in London, Temitope Popola, Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Exchange Group, highlighted that Nigeria's market strength stems from a wave of coordinated reforms. He emphasized that actions taken by the government and key financial regulators have laid a solid foundation for investor confidence and revitalized market activity. In sports, Nigeria's Super Falcons are determined to secure an early lead when they face Benin Amazon in the first leg of their final 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations qualifier at the Stade de Kegwe in Lomé on Friday. The 25,000 capacity stadium in the Togolese capital will host the West African derby, with the 10-time African champions targeting a strong result that could make Tuesday's return leg in Nigeria a mere formality. Head coach Justin Madugu has 19 players available for the encounter and remains confident in his squad's ability to deliver a performance befitting their status as continental champions. We have a team that will go out there and make us proud, Madugu said, while expressing optimism despite the absence of injured midfielder Jennifer Echegini. He added that the team's focus is on securing the goals that will give them a solid advantage heading into the second leg. The Falcons are looking to defend the title they won in Morocco earlier this year, with Echegini sidelined. Madugu is expected to rely on US-based midfielder Deborah Abiodun alongside captain Rasheedat Ajibade and Christy Ucheibe in midfield. Goalkeeper Chiamaka Unadozie will marshal a defense comprising Michelle Lozier, Tosin Demehin, Osinachi Ohale, and Ashley Plumped. In attack, Nigeria boasts an impressive lineup featuring Asisat Oshoala, Chiwendu Ezo, Esther Okoronkwo, Joy Omewa, and Folashade Ijami Lucy, one of the standout performers in their recent continental triumph. The match, which kicks off at 4 p.m. Nigeria time under the officiation of Gambian referee Ngom Fato, presents another opportunity for the Falcons to reinforce their dominance as the most successful team in Women's Africa Cup of Nations history. And that's all we have for you on Idea TV News Update. But before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. We brought to you news that Idea TV unveils Africa's industries and SMEs of interest. We also brought to you news that federal government launches nationwide crackdown on oil and gold smugglers. We brought to you news that Nigerian researchers gain access to EU's €100 billion Horizon Europe funding, and Ghana unveils digital-driven infrastructure plan to power a sustainable future. In Egypt secures $5.5 billion EU funding to boost economic stability and development. And in health, Africa closes in on polio-free status, says World Health Organization. In business, Nigeria's stock market nears 100 trillion naira as investor confidence surges. And lastly, in sports, Falcons eye early advantage against Benin Amazons. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms at Idea Television. I am Cynthia Basi. Thank you for watching.